Hey everyone, my name is Mal.
And I'm Hannah.
And welcome to The Morgue. Well, hey everybody.
Hello.
I hope y'all are having a wonderful day so far.
Wonderful.
Yes, absolutely wonderful.
Oh my god, real quick before we even start, thank you guys so much to all of the listeners. Like, I feel like we've been growing lately.
Yes.
And it's just making us so happy.
Yes, shout out to all of my people who have followed us from Twitter. All of my Twitter friends.
Shout out to
Welcome.
the Instagram people.
Yes, shout out to the Facebook people.
Shout out to the YouTube hoes.
Yes, shout out to them TikTokers.
Everybody, thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
listening. I even made a post on Twitter, which I will go ahead and just link my Twitter in the link tree if y'all want to follow me. I did a post on there just like thanking everyone for supporting, and I did mention if you only listen to like 60 seconds of the episode, trust me when I say that does so much more than what you think it does. So if you're like, hey, I want to support, but I really don't want to listen to an hour and a half episode, just listen to 60 seconds, because that just does wonders for us.
Right, we've already shot up, like, whenever you're searching.
Oh,
like,
yeah, searching and all
At first,
that.
it was like you had to fully type out the morgue and scroll down, like, all the way. But
Oh, yeah.
now it pops up, okay?
Yes,
we're getting
not,
somewhere.
We're not buried in Spotify anymore. We might be a little bit buried on YouTube, but...
Probably, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's totally fine.
And, like, what's crazy to me is I've had people from, like, that I used to go to school with, or, like, just people be like, hey, I listen to your podcast, and that's just crazy to me.
No, same. And like I said, I've been talking a lot about it on Twitter and stuff, and I'll have people just like mention me and be like, hey guys, like this podcast is so good, go listen. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, it literally brings me to tears a little bit that people like actually listen.
Right,
you
like
know
they
what I'm
want
saying?
to hear what
They
we
wanna
have to say.
Exactly. And they come back every week to hear what we have to say. They keep up with us on the social media and stuff, and I just think that it's fucking awesome.
We love you guys.
We love you. We love your continued support, and if you would like to support us even more, you can sign up for our subscriptions. Yes.
And we have a little account for like the morgue that we've been personally donating to, like to get new equipment, which we have some new equipment coming in.
I'm excited.
But that's where your subscription money's gonna go to. Hopefully we can get a studio, maybe have regular video episodes.
Yes, absolutely.
More giveaways, things like that you guys are gonna enjoy and that we are gonna enjoy. So please go subscribe. It's literally $4.
$4, $3.99 a month, and that will be available on Patreon. That link will be in the link tree as well as in our like little like description episode show notes underneath this episode. So go check it out. Go ahead and go.
There's gonna be good
subscribe.
stuff.
Yes, there's going to be some great stuff. We've already started recording a couple of episodes, and it's going to be fun over there. We are going to release just one bonus episode to the public for everyone, just so you guys can get a little taste of what we're doing over there. You know, I would hate for someone to subscribe and be like, oh, this isn't what I wanted.
Right, like we want y'all to know what's going to be going on. You're going to hear just us talking, you're gonna get to know us more, we're gonna go over movies that aren't horror, anything like that. If you're interested, which you should be, please just go subscribe.
Yes, we're gonna be doing non-horror, we're gonna be doing some true crime, and then other times we're just gonna be just talking about stuff. Like we have one coming up that's gonna be talking about conspiracy theories.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
We have some things to say.
Yes, lots of things to say. And so, diving right into this episode, we are doing X from 2022. This is honestly one of my favorite 2022 horror movies.
It's so good for like a new horror movie because I feel
really
like they've been slacking, and I feel like this year they've started to pick up because for a while I feel like they just weren't that good.
It just wasn't good. It was a lot of like recycling ideas and stuff.
Yes.
Lots of paranormal stuff and
right, like not creepy, not scary, just like a regular.
Right, and like I like paranormal stuff. I like demons and shit. I love like religious horror, but like it's just been so much. There has been so much of it that I'm just like I'm tired. So this was a little bit refreshing. I want to say thanks to Dead Meat over on YouTube. That's where I learned about it. And all I gotta say is, hell yeah, brother, because this movie is a good
Y'all
one.
need to buckle up. It's so good, but it is so fucked up.
Oh, yes. It's, whenever you watch the trailer for it, it's one of those movies that it's like, okay, it's kind of what the trailer said, but in a sense, it's completely different.
The trailer already had my jaw dropped, and then the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And just think, the first time I watched this, I watched it with my mom. Because me and my mom, we watch lots of movies together. I love to show her new horror movies. Because, like, she's into them, but she doesn't like gore and stuff. She's not very much... She gets scared. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something that's not scary, she gets scared. And so I was telling her about this movie, and I was like, yeah, it's this movie. It's called X. It's supposed to be really good. I was like, it has Kid Cudi in it, because she loves Kid Cudi. It's like, it has Kid Cudi in it, and she was like, oh, shit, like, we're going to have to watch that. And, oh my God, crazy.
Absolutely insane.
And so X is a slasher horror movie written, directed, edited, and produced by Ty West.
He absolutely killed it. Like, what?
Golf clap for Ty West. He did a hell of a job. And I really couldn't find a lot of, like, background stuff on this movie. Like, how it was, like, made, how it was developed, how he got the idea. But I did see that in November of 2020, A24 announced that they were going to produce a horror movie, which would be written and directed by Ty West, called X. And Ty said that his inspiration for the movie was independent cinema of the 70s, for example, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And principal photography took place in Manawatu region, I hope I said that right, the Manawatu region of the North Island in New Zealand, from February 16th to March 16th of 2021. So they got all of this done in a month.
That's insane.
That is crazy. And whenever I get to it, you're going to be like, damn. Like, I would have imagined it took longer because of this one specific process, which, like I said, I will eventually get to that.
I want to know.
Okay,
She's been gatekeeping this from me.
Okay, so we're going to go down to our cast. Okay? X stars Mia Goth as Maxine, but here's the kicker. Mia Goth also played Pearl. Jaw is dropped right now. She played Pearl.
I was so confused trying to figure out, because it would say stuff and it'd be like Mia Goth, and I'm like, wait, which one is she playing? And I just like...
Yep, she played Pearl.
What the fuck?
We kind of discussed this before we started recording. The movie Pearl, like I said, is a prequel, and it stars Mia Goth. And they were actually making that movie, like kind of like behind the scenes of making this movie.
I've watched some behind the scenes of getting her prosthetics on for Pearl.
Yes.
But I, like, didn't connect that was with this, because I've just seen those on, like, TikTok, because I love watching that stuff. And, like, you know.
Yep, but that was Mia Goth. And that's why I said I feel like it probably would have taken a little bit longer to film, just because the process of putting on all of those prosthetics and stuff probably took, like, hours.
It said it took, like, 10 hours.
Yeah, so, like, doing that and then plus having to, like, film for however long.
Yes, and the scenes of her with herself.
Exactly. They having to
like,
do
in the
doubling.
freaking bed.
Oh, God. I don't even... that part... When I first saw that, I was like, oh, hell no, this old woman up there touching her side titty. Oh, God. God. Oh.
The dude at the end was so right when he said, what did he say? When they were wondering what's on the camera, and he goes, one goddamn fucked up horror picture. Yes.
Absolutely. And I put at the end, I was like, that was so meta.
Yeah.
It was so meta. I felt like he was just talking to us through the screen.
I know, like, dude.
Okay, back to the cast. Martin Henderson plays Wayne, which I love me some Martin Henderson, y'all. He was on The Ring. He played Noah. That was like one of my first crushes growing up. And then, which I recently restarted this with my mom. Usually shows that I show my mom, she is not interested in, but we started Grey's Anatomy, bitch. And I have watched, so I watched that like my senior year of high school, and I watched from season 1 up to season 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
And girl, oh my god, it's been so long since I've watched it.
It looks like so good,
it's
but
so
the thing
good.
is, I've waited to start it because I know when I start it, I'm going to become obsessed and want to watch all of it, and I just don't have time to get into that right now because I will not leave my apartment.
I sat for 3 hours and watched the show.
Literally, when I, like, find a show I am a hermit crab. I go in my cave and I watch all of it and I obsess over it, and I have to find all the background research and learn about the actors and watch the interviews. So, like, it would just be a hole that I would crawl into and never come out. So I just have to wait till I have time to crawl into a hole.
Well, the guy that plays Wayne, he is a doctor on there at one point.
Okay.
Oh, when I saw this man, y'all, oh my fucking god, he is so fine. Anyways, Brittany Snow plays Bobby Lynn, which I fucking love. Fucking love Brittany Snow. I love that bitch. I have loved her since I was a child. Like, it's
first
just
thing
taking
I
me
saw
back.
her in, I believe, was Pitch Perfect.
The first thing I saw her in was, well, no, I was going to say the first thing I saw her in was Hairspray, but no, it was John Tucker Must Die. That fucking movie.
I did see her in Hairspray, I just didn't recognize that was her until
Amber
Pitch
Von
Perfect.
Tussle. Don't even get me started. I know that movie like the back of my hand.
My god.
Scott Miscuddy, I think that's how you pronounce it, aka Kid Cudi. I'm just going to call him Kid Cudi. Plays Jackson, and his name is Jackson Hole. We love. Jenna Ortega plays Lorraine.
I love her.
Girl, Jenna Ortega.
Let me tell you something.
Even though she wasn't necessarily like a main character,
you know
what I'm saying? She was still killing it. Absolutely killing it with her little Sunday panties.
Laid the house down and ate with absolutely no crumbs left. I think she ate the plate as well. Girl put her.
She licked the bitch clean.
Entire self.
She put her whole phasmosi into that bitch.
Literally.
Like.
And I feel like she does in everything that she's in. Everything I've watched her in, she's phenomenal. I love her.
And then Owen Campbell plays RJ, which if y'all have ever seen Evil Dead from 2013, that motherfucker looks just like the motherfucker that opened the book. And I already just did not like RJ. I know it's not the same actor, but it looks like him, and it pisses me off.
I didn't like him either. I just didn't like his vibe.
He just needed to punch in the face. And
right,
then,
like when he gets all, because she wants to do a freaking sex scene, like,
get
and just
over yourself.
Storms off and then dies. It's
no,
like, you dumbass.
It was the crying in the shower for me. He was straight up crying in the shower.
He was. Oh God, I hate RJ.
And then lastly, Stephen Ure plays Howard. And it opened in the United States on March 18th of 2022 on an estimated budget of $1 million. It had an opening weekend box office of $4.27 million and a gross worldwide of $14.74 million. Damn. They made some money. Hell yeah.
For real. For a $1 million budget and 1 month film span, like, that's some good money.
Brava.
And the actors better have gotten fucking paid good for that shit. Especially Mia Goth.
I don't know. I feel like Mia Goth, she was probably, like, contracted to do 3 movies because there's another one coming out next year.
But yeah, it's called
Maxine. Girl, I'm so pumped. It takes place in the 80s. I'm pumped. But I feel like she wouldn't have returned if she didn't get paid, or if she wasn't at least treated well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like she's playing 2 characters in this fucking movie.
She
like
probably
she
got
needs some
fat paycheck.
Good money.
It has a runtime of 1 hour 46 minutes, or 106 minutes if you're a weirdo. And IMDb has it at a 6.5 out of 10. I can agree on that. I feel like it should have probably gotten a 7, but okay. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 94% on the tomato meter. Okay. I'm here for it. Whenever I saw that, I was like, damn, them critics.
And they don't be handing that shit out.
Nope, never. But then here's what gets me. The audience only gave it a 75%. Like, I'm just saying.
Get your shit together.
Give it an 80. That would have sufficed. And then Letterboxd has it at a 3.4 out of 5. I call bullshit because I gave that shit a 4.5. The only reason why I didn't give it a full 5-star is just because there were just a few things where I was like, I would have been happy if that wouldn't have happened.
Yes.
Like, just a few little things that I was, like, not satisfied with 100%. And so we open with cicadas, and it's a really cool shot that makes it look like a 1-to-1 aspect ratio with the film format. It literally looks like a square. And we're on a farm of some sort. We see a sheriff pull in with his little sheriff car. And the shot slowly widens, and it is beautiful. Like, the filmmaker in me, because I took film class, you know what I'm saying? I took film class in high school and in college. The filmmaker in me is like, oh, like, it's just so smooth whenever it goes from, like, that square to, like, the rectangle. I'm like, yes, this is going to be a good movie. As soon as I saw that, I was like, this is going to be fire. At least it's going to be a beautiful movie, you know?
Yes.
The sheriff sees one dead body. It's pretty bad. And then he walks into the farmhouse where there's another body and blood everywhere. It's an absolute shit show. And as the sheriff walks around, a preacher is on the TV giving his sermon. And the preacher says that his daughter was taken by perverts and swindlers, and she fell into a world of sin. But just remember that preacher, y'all, okay? Keep that preacher in the back of your head. And the sheriff and deputy, they go down to the basement where they see something that gives them a look of pure shock and disgust. Which I can understand that, knowing what it is. God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
No, that made some sense after a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I thought it was going to be one thing. Fuck, no. It was something completely different. We fade and flicker to some nose candy being consumed by our main girl, Maxine. There's words that tell us that this is 24 hours before the event of the opening. And this guy walks in. His name is Wayne. And she talks to him, and he tells her that she's special. And when he walks out, she looks in the mirror and says, "You're a fucking sex symbol."
You're a fucking sex symbol.
I'm like, okay, girl. We see you. We see you. We are now outside of a Yiddy bar, and we're told that this takes place, or at least that they're in Houston, Texas, in 1979, and a group crowds into a van called the Plowing Service van. Nice. And this Yiddy bar is literally in the middle of some, like, shipping container yard in an industrial park.
So weird.
I've never been to Houston, so I don't know what the fuck it looks like down there, but now anytime I think of it, I'm just going to think of lots of humidity and industrial parks. Like,
yes.
This is when we meet most of the group. There's Bobby Lynn, who's dating Jackson. They're both amateur porn stars. And then there's RJ and Lorraine, who are also dating, and they work behind the camera. The actors get their scripts for Farmer's Daughters, a new porno written by Wayne. Bobby Lynn talks about her American dream, which is a paid-for house with a big pool. Very reasonable, in my opinion. And Bobby Lynn asks what her American dream is, but we never actually hear what it is, which kind of pissed me off. Yeah. That's docking a little bit of a point right there. We transition to a gas station, and the gas is 65 cents a gallon. I am fucking jealous. Do you realize how many, of the 10-gallon gas cans I would be filling up if I could just go back in time and get all that gas?
So many.
Like, shit. Because gas is now, almost damn near $3?
Yes.
It's some bullshit. I remember whenever it only took $30 to fill up my car, now it takes $40. I'm upset. Maxine and Wayne go into the gas station to grab some little snacky snacks. And Maxine says that she needs to be famous. She's ready for the high life, and she is tired of never getting what she wants. Understandable. Wayne tells her that everyone is going to want a piece of her once they see what she can do. And she asks, well, why? And he says, 'cause you got that X factor.
'Cause you got that X factor.
I'm sorry, this man with a country accent is the funniest shit ever. Because he's actually from New Zealand. And
really?
It's like, yes.
That's
yes.
so funny.
As they finish up their shopping outside, they're trying to get a shot of at the gas station, and Bobby Lynn and Lorraine are talking, and we get this funny exchange when Lorraine asks if Jackson is Bobby Lynn's boyfriend, and Bobby Lynn responds with, sometimes, yeah, I feel that. RJ sets up for the shot of Jackson pumping some gas, and Bobby Lynn tells RJ that if he films from, like, a higher angle, it'll look like Jackson is using his cock. And we do get a shot of that, and it really does kind of look like he's using his cock to pump gas. So, you know, Bobby Lynn knew what she was talking about. And as Wayne and Maxine pay for the groceries, they watch the They watch the preacher doing his sermon on TV. And the group are back on the road, Texas Chainsaw style, literally. If you've ever seen the OG Texas Chainsaw, like, this movie is so reminiscent of it in so many ways, and I'm here for it. And they end up encountering a wreck on the road. A semi slammed into a cow, and it's bloody fucking disgusting. There's literally, like, cow parts everywhere. It's so nasty. And then they literally have to drive over some of the guts. Whenever that happened, I had to look away.
There's going to be lots of dry heaving in this recording.
I'm so sorry. Like, there's just some nasty ass parts in this movie.
It's so disgusting.
The group arrived to their farmhouse of choice, and there's this really creepy ass music playing in the background. And, the shot is very Texas Chainsaw. It's like a wide shot.
Shout out Tyler Bates and Chelsea Wolfe who composed the score.
Oh yeah, shout out to them. They did a good fucking job.
It was pretty fucking good.
And so there's like this
Candyman level.
No, but it's definitely not Candyman level. Definitely not.
Nothing will ever top that for me.
Fuck no. Ooh, which reminds me, That Was Pretty Scary has an episode on Candyman, and they talk about the score, and I'm just like,
yes!
I'm like, yes! Someone else understands! And so anyways, the shot that they do is very Texas Chainsaw again. It's very, like, wide shot. You can, like, see everything. That's, like, basically all of where we're going to be for the rest of the movie. And Wayne tells everyone to stay put so he can talk to the owners of the farmhouse. In the van, Lorraine is voicing her concerns to RJ because as she calls it, smut wasn't what she had in mind when she said that she would help him with his movie. And RJ asked her, "When did you become such a prude?"
When did you become such a prude?
The way that he says that makes me want to just punch him. I want to be violent with this man.
I have quite a few. He pushes all of the wrong buttons.
Absolutely.
Every time he talks.
Absolutely. She says that she's not a prude, and he says that it's possible to make a good dirty movie, which is very true, but I don't think your dirty movie is going to be very good, my guy. Sorry. Wayne is waiting on the owners, and someone ends up walking up wielding a big-ass shotgun, and the person has Wayne at gunpoint, and everyone in the van sees. Maxine, like, looks up and is like, "Y'all, there's something wrong." And Wayne tries to reassure the man that he is not from the county, and the man is like, "Oh, yeah, you were looking for the boarding house." And we finally get, like, this full shot of Howard, and he is not cute.
Nasty.
I just have to say, the old people in this movie, like, hold on. Let me do something before I continue. I don't want to talk bad about this man, and he actually looked like that, because I did not look him up.
Like, Pearl we can diss on, because we know Mia Goth is not.
Okay, he's not. He looks like that.
Oh, okay. Looks like a sweet old man.
Yes, not to be an asshole about the way these old people look.
No, I'll be an asshole. They're so fucking
They
ugly.
made these people look nasty.
Literally, like, I could smell them through the screen.
Decrepit, like they were already rotting away. Like, it was nasty. But yeah, no, they just look nasty. Howard looks nasty with his fucking Band-Aid on his head. Like, you nasty, sir.
If y'all hear crunching, my cat is eating goldfish. Just ignore it.
The group unload their shit, and Maxine ends up seeing someone staring at her from one of the windows of the main house.
Hell no.
And it's fucking creepy. That woman is fucking creepy.
She is nasty.
And guess what? She gonna get everything that's coming to her, because she nasty. Howard shows the group to the boarding house, and honestly, it's actually kind of cute.
Yeah.
It just looks poorly insulated, in my opinion.
I want to renovate it, and then it would be so good.
Yes, like, I would keep a lot of, like, the original, like, woodwork and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I just mean, like, I want to refurbish.
Update a little bit, yes. Maybe, like I said,
some different interior decor choices.
Install some insulation.
Yes.
Because it looks like you can feel a breeze very easily. Frigid. Very frigid. Wax the floors. Seal those.
Definitely give it a good clean about 4 or 5 times.
Yes. Bleach it down. Paint it a little bit. But, like, the bones of it are good. I'll give it that. The bones of it are good.
Right.
It had a nice open floor plan in the living room.
Like, it's salvageable.
Absolutely. I'm just a sucker for a good old house.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Jackson tries to make a connection to Howard by telling him that he served in Vietnam, but Howard completely disregards it. Howard says that he doesn't recall Wayne mentioning all the extra people, but Wayne tells him that he threw in some extra cash for the stay, and Howard says he doesn't like any of them, but he takes the money and leaves them to it. So it's like, boy, you up here making a scene because you don't like these people, but you done took their money.
Right, like, just calm down, take your money, go away.
Take your money and go. Like, they ain't gonna bother you.
Right.
Wayne reveals that the people don't know what their intentions are there, so they need to keep it on the low, which, boy, y'all should have just filmed in Hotel Motel Holiday Inn at this point.
Right, but, like, good for them for not telling Howard and Pearl, because
shit, they would have wanted to be involved.
Nasty-ass motherfuckers. I mean, maybe not Howard, but Pearl for show.
I feel like Howard is also a nasty motherfucker.
He is.
But he just can't. He can't because of his heart.
He can't
you know what I'm
be
saying?
as nasty as he wants to be.
Yes, but think about it. You end up watching Pearl and you're like, oh, well, maybe he's actually like this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now I want to watch Pearl.
Now we're just going to have to watch Pearl and cover it on here as well, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it with me to help connect some
Absolutely.
dots.
I got you. And so they start filming Jackson fucking Bobby Lynn, and we see most of it, and it's honestly kind of weird seeing Brittany Snow's titties because, like I said earlier, she was on Hairspray and John Tucker Must Die and, like, hella other movies that I watched whenever I was a kid, and I'm just like, I can't feel normal seeing Amber Von Tussel's titties.
Right.
You know? It's just weird. And Maxine decided that she's going to go take a smoke break and take a little walk around with hella side boob. She's literally wearing some shorts, overalls, and she ain't got nothing on underneath it. Mm-hmm. But I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. It's cute. She makes it cute. Yes. And she's making that cigarette also look really fucking good. I'm not a cigarette smoker anymore, but god damn the way that she was just sucking on the bitch. I'm like, ooh. It's kind of like how Helen was making cigarettes look good in Candyman. It was like, let me get a drag off of that bitch real quick. She ends up stumbling upon a pond, and she decides to feel the water with her feet. She, like, sits down on the dock, puts her feet in the water, and when she does, we see someone creeping in the trees behind her.
Fuck no.
Then she decides to take a little dip naked, which, you know, as we know, being naked is not really always the best thing to do.
No, especially not in a pond.
Literally. Oh, hi. Inside, we get a funny little exchange between RJ and Wayne. They're talking about how the shoot is going, and Wayne says, "We're gonna be rich as fuck. Feel how hard my cock is."
Oh, people's eyes are gonna pop out of their damn skulls when they see this. We're gonna be rich. Feel how hard my cock is.
And makes RJ grab his cock. And if y'all hear something, the cat is on the table.
The cat is being a bitch, so if you hear anything, just assume it's the cat.
Yes, it's the cat, we promise. She's just kind of a crackhead right now. Feel how hard my cock is. I'm sorry, that's great.
It's so funny, like, bro.
In the room, Bobby Lynn has wiped cum off of her back and threw the rag in Lorraine's direction, which was fucking rude. And Bobby Lynn lays on the bed smoking, and Jackson is, like, at the window admiring himself post-coital, butt-ass naked. He's over there. Yes, he's over there, like, being all macho man, showing his muscles just right in front of the window, dick hanging out and everything. And Bobby Lynn says, "Oh, why are you looking so proud? You didn't do nothing. That was just all acting." And he's like, "Psh, you're not that good of an actor." So she just starts moaning and acting like she's being fucked. And like, I just have to say, as us grown women, we all know that is so fucking true half the time. Like, I don't mean to be that dickhead or to lower any males' egos out there, but like 90% of the time,
any woman can do it.
Yes, 90% of the time whenever you're fucking a woman and she's moaning, it's all just acting. And so now at this point, Jackson, his ego is hurt. He's all upsetty spaghetti. And he says he thinks he just loves Bobby Lynn. And Bobby Lynn says, bless your heart. Which, if you're not from the South, that is not nice.
No, that is not.
That is not nice. It sounds sweet if you're not from here.
But everybody
bitch,
knows what it means.
It means
thank God you're pretty.
Yes, thank God you're pretty, and honey, you don't know what the fuck you've gotten yourself into.
Literally.
Like, Maxine at this point is floating in the pond. She's just taking a relaxation moment. And there's a fucking gator. A fucking gator, bro. And she decides to swim back to the dock. Thank fucking goodness, because the gator was coming towards her. But then the huge fucking gator is now actually coming towards her. Fuck that. He's coming up super fast, but luckily she's able to make it to the dock before and out of the water before anything happens. Maxine sees a woman standing on the porch of the main house waving at her, so she waves back. And Maxine decides to follow the woman inside of her house. But, like, have you not heard about not going into fucking strangers' houses?
Go back. You've already done swam naked in the pond.
These folks could be crazy.
You already got that bacteria all up in your ass.
Exactly. She needs to go take a shower. I don't think she takes a shower. Later on, I don't think she showers.
Oh, girl.
God, imagine diving up into that swamp pussy. Oh. She looks around, and she's startled by Pearl, the old woman. And Pearl pours them some lemonade, and they kind of sit there in silence. And Maxine just ends up chugging the fuck out of her lemonade, and she's just like, I have to go. And Pearl walks her to the door. But before she goes, Pearl shows her some pics of when she was young. She's like, oh yeah, I was just this beautiful dancer, and look at you with your beautiful skin. And it's really fucking eerie. I'm like, bitch, why are you talking about my skin? She seems very jealous of Maxine's young age. Hint, hint, hint. And Pearl creepily touches Maxine's exposed side boob, which is just fucking weird.
Stop it.
Like, stop touching me, you old bitch.
Stop it.
And Howard suddenly pulls up, and Pearl tells her to go out the back door before Howard can see her. It'll be our little secret. What?
Hell no.
And she sneaks back, and she sneaks out the back, and she runs back to the house. Wayne startles her and tells her to hurry up, get changed, she needs to film. And so Maxine runs to the house, she does herself a little nose candy, she gets herself right, and she tells herself, I will not accept a life I do not deserve. That's right, girly. Because I ain't even gonna lie, ever since I watched that movie, that has been like my mindset. I will not accept a life I do not deserve. Because it's true. No one should.
She got good mindset here. She said, I'm a fucking sex symbol, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
Yes, exactly. But like I said, I don't think the bitch showered. So like,
disgusting.
Get it together. Howard is now inside, and he notices 2 glasses on the table, which is kind of sus. And now at this point, Maxine goes back to the barn.
I feel like Howard ain't even worried, because who the fuck would want Pearl?
Literally. But also, he's like, who the fuck was in my house?
True.
I feel like Howard is a bit of a
I feel
controlling
like he's not worried
person.
About, yes, definitely. But I feel like he's not worried about Pearl cheating on him, because who the
I don't know,
fuck?
because the thing about it, so later on, whenever he's talking to Jackson, he says, you're up here flaunting all your stuff in front of my wife. So, like, maybe he is a little jealous. But who the fuck, like you said, who the fuck would want to fuck Pearl?
Right, like.
Besides him. I'm just saying. And this is not, like, old people slander. Old people are, like, awesome, but, like,
no,
these old people look nasty.
Pearl slander.
These old people look so nasty. Y'all, if y'all have not seen this movie, just Google Howard and Pearl from X, and they are not cute. Okay? They will make your stomach churn. I'm so sorry. And so Maxine, she ends up going to the barn and she shoots her scenes for the movie. And it flickers back to Pearl, who is getting all dolled up for Howard. She is such a horny old bitch. And so as Maxine does her scenes, Pearl watches from the window like a peeping Tom, being a fucking creep. And Lorraine just like watches Maxine in awe. She's like getting some ideas, you know? And we get this weird like switch back and forth from Maxine writing dick to Pearl writing it, and then Maxine, and then Pearl, and then back to Maxine, and it's just fucking weird. I'm like, what were y'all doing?
But she's not having sex with Howard, right?
No, she wasn't fucking Howard at that point. It was just like this weird like flicker back and forth.
Oh, she was...
It was like she was imagining herself fucking Jackson.
Ew.
And so Pearl makes her way back to the main house, and Howard notices how dolled up she is, and she tries to make him feel some type of way. But Howard is like, we talked about this. My heart just won't take it. Which is actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Imagine being a horny old bitch and your man is like, my heart's too bad, I can't fuck you.
Damn.
I'm just saying, that's sad. And it's sad that we'll all get to that point someday. The group sits around and eats some bologna sandwiches. And Maxine asks why Lorraine is staring at her. Lorraine acts all scary, and she says that she has a question. Isn't it strange watching Maxine do it with Jackson? And Wayne says, no, the camera changes everything. All it is business. And Lorraine asks, well, what about love? And Maxine says, of course they believe in love, but this is just sex. And Bobby says that she saw Lorraine staring at Jackson a little bit, and she seemed embarrassed. But Bobby Lynn makes a good point that life is too short. One day they will be too old to fuck, and they turn people on, so whatever. Which is facts, though.
Right.
Honestly, like I just said, we all get old one day. Shit, enjoy it while you can. Just don't be crazy. Don't get crazy with it.
Don't be Pearl.
Exactly, don't be Pearl. There's this cute little moment when Jackson is playing the guitar and Bobby Lynn is singing Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, which, fun fact, that really was Brittany Snow actually singing, and I'm like 99.99% sure that actually was Kid Cudi playing the guitar. And it switches back and forth from the group to Pearl's little sad existence with Howard. And like I said, it's kind of sad because her old ass is horny and she can't even do anything about it. But also, girlfriend, use your hand. Get yourself a vibrator. This was the 70s. Vibrators existed.
Literally.
Like, girl, you can get off. You're just not wanting to get off by yourself.
Right.
After this beautiful moment, Lorraine chimes in and says that she wants to do a scene in the movie, but RJ is not impressed. He denies her, and she questions him, and he just flat out says no. She says that they're young, and if they are making a good dirty movie, she wants to be in it, not just behind the camera. And RJ says no. It's his movie, and the story can't just change midway through. But Lorraine makes a good point when she says, nobody is coming to watch for the plot. They're coming to see tits and ass. And a big dick. And she asks him, when did you become such a prude?
When did you become such a prude?
RJ, fuck you. Like, that was so funny to me. When did you become such a prude? And he was just like, sitting there like, you nasty. He was sitting there really thinking like, you're a whore and stuff like that. But like, just in the car, he was saying, it's just a movie.
Literally.
It's just a movie. It's just people having sex.
He just pisses me off so much.
So then Wayne interjects and he says that he's the executive producer, so he gets a word. He and RJ have a convo outside, and it breaks down to Lorraine is going to do it whether RJ wants her to or not, so he can either support her or not support her. It's his choice. And so back inside, Lorraine is getting ready for her scene, and she looks back at RJ like, fuck you, I'm gonna do this shit. And she takes off her little cross necklace, gotta make sure that Jesus isn't watching, and she gets in position with her little Sunday panties. I'm like, girl, yes. In the middle of the night, everyone is asleep except for RJ. He's in the shower, literally crying because his girlfriend wanted to do a scene in the movie. Get over yourself, you whiny little bitch. Like, my guy. He is so upset that he decides to take the keys and leave without everyone. And whenever he gets into the van, Don't Fear the Reaper is playing by Blue Oyster Cult. We love some Don't Fear the Reaper. And he almost runs into Pearl. She's literally just standing in the driveway with her fucking nightgown on, looking crazy. And he gets out to check on her, being, a nice Samaritan. Hey, girlie, are you okay? And he approaches, but she wants her some RJ. She wants anyone she can get.
Girl is
Fiending. And when he rejects her, in a really nice way, she stone cold stibbity stabs him in the neck a little bit, and he just starts bleeding out on the driveway. Okay? And she doesn't stop there. She ends up straddling him, takes the knife, and then just stabs him in the neck over and over and over, like the sick bitch she is. And she doesn't even stop there. After nearly decapitating this man, she starts just dancing in the driveway.
She is fucked up.
Oh, but of course, before she leaves the driveway, she makes sure to take their keys from the van. Of course. And Lorraine ends up waking up without RJ, of course. And like any loving girlfriend, she goes looking for him. And she walks to the front door, peers outside to kind of scan the yard. But she's quickly startled by Wayne in his fucking tidy whities. And all I gotta say is, if I ignore them tidy whities, hey Wayne, how you doing? 'Cause damn, oh. She says that she's really worried about RJ, but Wayne tries to reassure her that she did nothing wrong and RJ will feel better in the morning. Lorraine convinces Wayne to help her look for him, and so Wayne goes to the barn and Lorraine goes to the main house. Lorraine ends up encountering Howard, and she tells him that she's looking for her boyfriend, and he asks if she has seen his wife. She is missing. And back in the barn, Wayne is walking around. Oh, God, this fucking part. He steps on a nail. Oh. And he's, trying not to, scream and make noise like the macho man he is. And he pulls the fucking nail out. Blood is squirting everywhere. All the while, all the cows in the barn are mooing. And he yells, "Shut up, cheeseburger! Go wander on into traffic!"
Oh, shut up, cheeseburger! Go wander into traffic!
Which is... I'm sorry, that's funny. Wayne sees someone moving outside the barn, and he's like, "RJ, is that you?" And he goes over to some holes in the wall to look through, and he sees someone there, but we don't see who it is.
I can't with this. I can't.
The fine-ass pervert gets a pitchfork to the eyes. R.I.P. to Dr. Nathan Riggs over here now.
I don't do eye shit.
Oh, that stressful. In the house, Howard is grabbing a flashlight so he and Lorraine can look for Pearl and RJ. He asks Lorraine to go down to the basement to grab another flashlight. And he plays the old man role pretty well. Oh, my wife is in the dark. I can't see her. She might break a hip. And there's a really cool shot where Lorraine is about to turn on the light. And it flashes back over to Wayne. The pitchfork has been removed. He's dead on the ground. And of course, here comes fucking Pearl. She wanted to view her work up close and personal, and then she proceeds to bury him in hay. That's really going to cover it all up.
Right, babe.
Lorraine, she makes her way down to the basement. She found the flashlight, but as she makes her way back up the stairs, the door is locked. Fuck. She goes back downstairs looking around, and y'all, she turns on the actual basement light.
Hell no.
There is a dead man hanging from the wall with his pants pulled down. And we get a 10 out of fucking 10 scream from Lorraine.
So good.
If you've ever seen, like, anything about this movie and you literally see the picture of the person screaming, that is from this scene. That is Jenna Ortega doing her fucking magic, killing it with the final girl screams. But it sucks. Because, spoiler alert, she is not the final girl.
I know. That made me
I hate
so
it.
mad.
It made me feel some type of way. And so Jackson and Bobby Lynn suddenly wake up. Jackson tells Bobby Lynn to go back to sleep. He gets up to see if maybe there was something that woke him up, like what that was. And he ends up going to the fridge to get a little drinky drink of milk. And we see on the carton that there's a missing poster. Fun fact, the missing poster is for the man in the fucking basement. Yeah. Jackson sees some light flashing from outside, and it's Howard. And Jackson opens up the door, and Howard explains that he needs to find his wife. Jackson decides to help him, and we get a shot. Whew, y'all should have seen the look on my face whenever I saw this. We get a shot of this big old dangling just hanging from this man.
From who?
Whoo! From Jackson. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah, I remember that part.
And the thing about it, whenever he moves, it moves with him. Like...
Oh, God.
And so Jackson, he ends up getting dressed up to help Howard. And he doesn't bother telling Bobby Lynn. And as he's getting dressed, someone was watching him. And as he leaves, that person stumbles into Maxine's room. Guess who it is?
Fucking Pearl.
Fucking Pearl. Being a fucking creep. And she pulls off the blankets, revealing that it's basically a naked Maxine on the bed. And Pearl decides to get naked and into bed with her?
Hell
Question mark, question mark,
no.
question mark. But then we flip over to Jackson and Howard at the pond, okay? And Jackson says that they should split up, but Howard makes the excuse that he only has one light. But Jackson, being the badass that he says he is, he says once a Marine, always a Marine, and he will find her out there with or without light. What a badass, because I know I couldn't see out there. Back with Pearl, she's rubbing her bloody fucking hands all over Maxine, literally assaulting her. It's disgusting.
Or is she not freaking awake?
Literally, she must be a really hard sleeper, because I would have woken the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Even if I'm a hard sleeper, if I'm sleeping out there, I ain't sleeping.
So we flip over to Jackson. He sees a car that has been pushed into the pond. Damn. And he eventually finds a light that's kind of like in the water. And he approaches it thinking that it's Howard who done drowned, but he couldn't find a body. So he leaves, but runs into Howard's ugly ass. And like one of his eyes is all fucked up and shit. And Howard starts rambling about how he can't give her what she wants anymore. But Jackson, he just doesn't understand. And Howard literally says, "You're enticing my wife." And Jackson is like, "I'm just going to go back." But Howard plainly says, "I know what's going on." And shoots Jackson just point blank in the fucking chest. R.I.P. to the big dicked man. He didn't deserve that. He was a good person. He was trying to help.
Right.
Like, that's the thing about this movie. Everyone that's dying is, like, doing good stuff. You know what I'm saying? The only thing, quote-unquote, bad that they've done is have sex on film.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Maxine finally wakes up to find Pearl in her fucking face, and she screams until Bobby Lynn comes in. And Bobby Lynn sees Pearl leave, and Maxine is yelling, "That old woman was touching me!" And so, meanwhile, Lorraine is trying to hatchet the door down. She comes and she is able to get a small panel off so that she could try to unlock the door. But here comes fucking Howard, and he literally axes her in the hand. And he's like, "Get your ass back in that cellar!" And is like pointing a gun at her. And he turns on the TV, and again, it's the pastor doing his sermon. Loud as fuck, too. Maxine, she did a fat rail, and Bobby Lynn went looking for Jackson. She makes her way to the pond, and she sees Pearl naked on the dock. And so she runs up, she covers Pearl up with her blanket, being pleasant, trying to help. And she says that her Nana gets confused sometimes, and she even thought about being a nurse one day. And Bobby Lynn tries to escort her back to the house, but Pearl slaps the fuck out of her, calls her a whore. So Bobby Lynn says that if she don't want her help, that's fine. But Pearl ain't done with her. When Bobby says that she has had enough, she says, "Now move, you old ugly bit," but is cut off by being thrown in the water and quickly being eaten by the gator. R.I.P. Amber Von Tussle, you dead. And Howard comes up and watches Pearl as Pearl is watching Bobby Lynn's body flailing and being torn into shreds. And he says, "Was that the one?" And she replies, "You know I don't like blondes." "M'excuse me, bitch."
Stupid.
And so Maxine is trying to wash all of the nasty blood off, and she can't find anyone. She sees Howard and Pearl coming up, so she goes to hide, and they go into the house. They go into Maxine's room. She isn't there. And they talk about how 4 of the 5 are dead, or 4 of the 6 are gone. And Howard says that there's one in the basement for her, but Pearl says she doesn't want that one. There's something special about the other one, something special like what she once had. And they sit on the bed to talk, and then it gets a little steamy. And the old decrepit couple start fucking, and poor Maxine is under the bed, hiding while all of this is taking place. I would be traumatized.
Literally so traumatized. I would be traumatized from the first part of her just in the bed.
Right?
Touching with her bloody hands. Like, get that out of here.
Maxine is able to crawl out and run up to the van, but she sees that all of the tires have been slashed, and RJ, he's still just dead on the driveway. And so Lorraine, she's now yelling for help. Maxine goes inside to help her, and she's able to get the door unlocked, and she tells Lorraine to keep her voice down. They need to find the keys to the couple's truck. But Lorraine says, "I should have never listened to you. It's all y'all's fault." And Lorraine runs to where I don't fucking know. But before she can get far, to the front porch to be exact, she immediately is shot dead by Howard. R.I.P. Tara Carpenter. And Pearl and Howard discuss hiding the bodies. And if no one comes looking for them tomorrow, they will dump the bodies in the pond with all the others. And Howard drags Lorraine in. But before they can even barely make it through the front door, she suddenly, does a death gurgle, and it surprises Howard so badly, he literally keels over dead from a sudden heart attack. Damn, son, you done did all that fucking, and you keel over from a dead girl gurgling. And so Maxine, she knows that it's her time now. She comes out wielding a gun, demanding for the keys to the truck. Pearl, she's all over her husband. She's like, "I'm so worried about him. He's having a heart attack." So she tells Maxine where the keys are. And this whole part is intercut with the pastor giving his sermon on TV. And Maxine tells Pearl that she's going to rot once people find out what they have done. And Pearl is like, "What I've done? What about you? I saw you in the barn, you deviant whore. You'll end up just like me." And Maxine says that she's nothing like her. She's a fucking star. And before she says something, we hear the pastor on TV say it with me now. And at the same time, the pastor, and this part's so cool, the pastor and Maxine both say, "I will not accept a life I do not deserve."
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
I do not deserve.
And as she's about to shoot Pearl, she realizes the gun isn't even loaded. So Pearl tries to grab Howard's gun to shoot Maxine. This fucking part. She ultimately misses and is thrown backwards out the door due to the recoil on this big ass gun. Damn. And so Maxine gets up. The pastor on TV yells, "Now that is what I call divine intervention." And Maxine walks out the door to see Pearl on the ground begging for help. She broke her hip. Maxine just tells her, shh, and then proceeds to get into the truck. And so Pearl is like, you're a whore, you're not special, it'll all get taken from you. But Maxine, she a bad bitch. She starts the truck and proceeds to reverse right onto Pearl's head, which was bloody disgusting again.
So gross.
It was disgusting, but it was so sweet. And she says, it'll be our little secret, and drives the fuck off.
Power.
And so now we're back with the pastor. He's saying he hopes others find the light. Then he says that he wants to show them something. It's a picture of his daughter, Maxine. It's morning again, and the sheriff is there. A cop brings the sheriff the group's film camera. And when asked what he thinks is on it, he says, by the look of it, I'd say one goddamn fucked up horror picture. Very meta, sir. And then we get the actual title card. We did not get a title card in this entire movie until the end. And then the credits.
Damn.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Damn.
Golf clap for that fucking movie. Because damn, I can say, so the points that really got me from a 5-star to a 4.5 was there were some parts that just kind of dragged on a little bit. Like, I feel like they could have easily cut out like 15 minutes of just like long wide shots.
Yes.
And it would have been just fine. Because like I was sitting there like writing my notes, and it would be where it would be like just like 2 minutes of walking, and I'm like, I don't have anything else to write at this moment.
The shots are good, just like
they're beautiful.
Just take it down a little bit.
Take it down a little bit. Like whenever there was a part like whenever they were walking into the house, whenever Howard and Pearl were walking into the boarding house, and like they slowly walked to the room and stuff, and then like that whole fucking scene and everything, like chill. If all of that was cut out, and honestly, like I don't even care to see any of like the porn they were shooting, you know?
Right. Like we don't...
some of it's cool, like the part whenever it was flickering back from Maxine to Pearl, it was creepy, but it was kind of cool. It was a very beautiful shot, but like it wasn't necessary.
We don't need to see what you're showing.
Yeah, I don't really care to see all of that. Maybe that's just me. Maybe, you know, men out there that watch this enjoy it, but cut out about 15 minutes and yeah. So that was X.
Absolutely insane. So fucked
Fucking
up. So
crazy.
good.
But also, like, so good. If you haven't seen this movie, please go watch it.
There's such a good plot.
Yes, the whole thing is just so good. It's so refreshing for it to be a 2022 movie. It's so refreshing compared to all the other just
Horror
shit that has been coming out. Horror has not been very good in the past few years, but I just feel like there's this revival. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of going back to like the old style, like I said in the beginning with like Texas Chainsaw and stuff. Very like gritty, sort of like what's that? Grindhouse sort of look. Like even with like the Terrifier movies, they're very like Grindhouse look and stuff.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know, people are liking that and I'm here for it.
I really liked the filmmaking in this movie.
Oh, for sure.
The shots were good. Just the lighting, the vibe, everything was good.
Yes, it was a very beautiful movie. And I've only seen it like 3 times. I'm definitely watching it again. Like, this is one of those movies that it's going to be like an every couple months type of thing, for sure. And as for next week, ooh, y'all. Next week, we have a good one for you. This is dead ass, one of my favorite.
So good.
Hands down, favorite movies ever. We're going to be covering Jennifer's Body from 2009.
My girl, Megan Fox.
Our motherfucking girl. I love her so much. She is so gorgeous.
So good.
She's hot. She eats it up with a fucking golden spoon. Like, oh.
She kills it. And I'm going to be doing our notes this time. So, guys, please pray for me. It's not going to be near as good as Mal, but I guarantee the movie's going to make up for it.
Yes, you're going to be doing our narration and stuff. I'm going to be able to just sit and chill in the background a little bit. I'm kind of excited.
I know, it's fun. It is.
I hope it is. I'm gonna try my best not to be like, oh, and then this happened. You forgot about this. You forgot about this. Because I have seen.
But if I forget stuff, tell me.
I will tell you, because I have seen Jennifer's Body so many times. I know the movie like the back of my fucking hand. I will definitely tell you if you miss something.
I've seen it more than I've seen any other horror movie.
Love that.
Because I've watched it
It's
twice.
so good.
I've watched it 2 whole times.
I have it on
that.
DVD.
Actually,
I'm
I've
that
seen
bitch.
Scream more. Because Scream is just, it has this hold on my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've watched a lot now since we've started this podcast. Like, you've introduced me.
Oh, yeah.
Scream 1 is still unbeatable for me.
It's
so far.
so good, dude.
It's just so iconic, and I just...
You can't do wrong with the original Scream.
And Skeet and Matthew
Exactly.
carried.
Skeet.
Nev carried. Everybody fucking
Everyone in that
carried.
movie was phenomenal. Like,
so amazing.
But yes, you guys, Jennifer's Body next week. And of course, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms and also subscribe to our Patreon.
Subscribe.
Yes, all of those links will be available on our link tree and also in our like little description show notes thingy thing that's underneath this episode. If you're on Spotify, all you have to do is click on the episode name and bada bing bada boom, you're on our episode like show thing page. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but that's where all of our links will be.
Yes.
And yeah, I is there anything else you want to say today?
Don't believe so.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, what the fuck ever you're having. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.